So what's going on, tubers? Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. We're working on the bus today, trying to get this out of here. Sort of broke, so Mama said I need to get this done. So anyway, we got the mount made. I showed you guys that. It was sort of dark. There's the mount. We capped it all off. Put a piece of 1x2 under the original mount. Basically cut the mount out of the center and welded the ends onto the 1x2, and then had to trim down the basically the part that bolts to the motor to nothing, and I boxed that all back in. I don't know if you can see that, box all that back in so it's, you know, it's strong. And then we capped all our ends off, and I capped the ends off on the mount that I made. So I don't expect it to line up. It bolted to the motor fine, but the end's got to be off a little bit. I figure a big pipe wrench with a pipe, and I can twist those where they need to be. I was swapping this fan housing onto this motor. This is off the original 1600 single port that used to be in the bus, and now we're going over to the 1776. However, we swapped the sheet metal over because I didn't want to have to rewire the bus for a generator. And both coolers, or both motors had doghouse coolers on, so we just swapped the sheet metal. However, this is one thing that you're going to run into if you're using a aluminum case. This is an auto leaner, or whatever. CB Performance sells them. It's your typical raised roof aluminum case. They come ready to run. They say that you can run up to like an 86 stroke crank in them, but you do have to do a little clearancing here and there if you put that big of a crank in, depending on what rods you run into. However, the roof of the case is raised up. You can see on this case how close the roof is to the nuts. They're really tight. Here's a section that's not raised, but this is raised, this is raised, this is raised. So everything's raised up on the top of this case. Sometimes the generator's even raised up, and you can run into a problem with the belt. Here's the stock case. Let me get it down on the floor here. You can see the difference. Here's the roof of the case, part we're talking about. And if you're an old-time Volkswagen racer and you've ever had to clearance the stock case for an 82 crank with a Volkswagen rod, the case comes really thin, you know, in a couple spots. A lot of times you'll see a patch welded on top of the case, and that's what's happened. That's why when they design these aluminum cases, they raise the top of the case up. However, what you run into when you put your sheet metal on is your sheet metal will hit the case right here and right here. So you have to cut your sheet metal down. The top's raised about 100 thousandths, 200 thousandths. Just trim this down until your sheet metal sits flat on the motor. A lot of guys don't trim that down, and that just sits there and wears on the case. And I've seen the aluminum case come in where the sheet metal is actually vibrated through the top of the case. So you want to be sure to definitely clearance that and make sure your sheet metal sits flush. You should come up to your cylinder 10, should sit right up into here, and then both bolts should line up on both sides, of course. And if we set this up there now, the 10s would only come up to about here, and the bolt holes are off. You can get one or the other bolt. So we'll get that cut down this morning and get that installed, and probably gonna have to cut the rear apron for the collector. I don't know yet. And then we have to do something for the muffler to extend it, but should be able to knock that out. Should be able to I might have to go to Triangle and pick up a couple flanges, or I might have to just cut this one off and extend the collector out a little bit. I haven't decided how to do it yet. Got to mount a electric fuel pump. The other car had an electric pump that this motor was in, so there's no fuel pump on this motor. So rather than buying the fiber block, the rod and the fuel pump and setting all that up, I wouldn't mind doing that, but we're going with the electric fuel pump. So that basically mounts underneath the bus somewhere, set up where it runs off the ignition coil, and it's got a ground, so it's pretty straightforward. And You can buy that pump at pretty much any AutoZone, O'Reilly's, whatever. It's just a mystery gasket, low pressure rotary pump. Doesn't require any kind of regulator or anything. It's low pressure. So that's about it. Collector gasket's bad. There it is. So I'm probably gonna definitely have to make the triangle run to get a few more parts. And yeah, hopefully we can get this out of here today. And then I have Andrea stuck out here. We got to throw the water pump on the 6 liter. I guess there's 2 pumps for this. One with the 188 millimeter or 188 thousandths thermostat housing, or 205 thousandths. I don't know. So I might have the right pump and I might not. But I noticed where a fan's broken here, and I got to fix that because this thing's been floating around, rubbing on the fan and being all crazy. I really don't like this truck. I like to have that motor, that 6 liter, and I like to put that in my Nova, but she ain't having it. So I tried to talk her into letting me find a 5.3 for this and putting that in here. And seeing if it'd get better gas mileage, because this thing's terrible on the gas. So she's been riding in the Titone lately, but I guess I need to fix this for her because she's really getting pissed. She likes to drive her truck. So I guess we'll get on this, disassemble this and see what it looks like. I've never put a water pump on a 6 liter before, so I don't know what I'm getting into. Can't be too bad. I don't even know if it's in the truck here. Here, I won't show you the inside of her truck. Well, you can see a little bit. It's a little messy. Some green masking paper in there. Bunch of towels. I don't see a water pump, strangely enough. I thought she had bought one, but maybe not. Maybe we don't have to put a water pump on. It's a little bug. Let me take it for a ride today. It's been a while. Nope, not in there. Nope, not in there. Maybe in the back of the truck. Yeah. I have to call her up, see where she put it. But anyway, that's what's happening here today. It is a pretty nice day. Nice little fluffy clouds. Got the car show this weekend. Turkey rod runs. Won't be going over there to that, checking that out. But they are having that. So if you live around here, that's pretty cool. I gotta get this motor built here on the floor and sell that bad boy and make some money. That's actually a bus motor, so it'll be harder to sell than the average 1600 because the case is worth more, so the motor costs more. But I do got a couple engines I need to build. I got really behind working on the Lily car. Haven't been able to build any motors at all, so I didn't get to sell any motors at the show this year. So that means I'll be broke all winter long. So it's going to be really cool. So yeah, that job just keeps on giving in there. But anyway, I do got like 3 or 4 cases, 3 or 4 cranks. I got that 1776 we can put together, but I got to buy parts. Monday we'll start buffing this, and hopefully, with the grace of God, this will go home next week. For sure, that needs to happen. But yeah, so that's what's going on here. There's Andrea pulling back in the driveway. Some guys said that they like my bus. I appreciate that. It does look pretty good. Of course, you know, I got shitty luck and a broom fell on it the other day, and I put a dent right there. It's got, you know, character now, I guess. Didn't break the paint, but it's got a little dent. But that's how shit happens around here. What's going on?
I still got my other errand to run. Will you try to find a chip that matches this for me while the sun's out?
Oh, I didn't match?
It's too light, and there's no other variances for it, but it's definitely too light.
They blend it, or are they pan?
Blended it. That's why you can really tell that it's too light. I mean, it looks like a fade. Tommy Shoe's trying to call you too.
Okay, that's cool. I'll call him.
His number will be on the home phone because I gave him that number to call.
Well, I don't know how to retrieve numbers, so if you could write his number down, I'd really appreciate it, because I don't know how to do any of that stuff. I'm a dumbass. Anyway, we got, that doesn't look gold to me, guys. I don't know. We got color match some paint now. I did pick up a few items from Triangle the other day. I got the this is the Type 2 fuel line. If you're running dual carbs on your bug, you should always ask for this and upgrade to this from the Type 1. Gives you a little more fuel volume, so that's always pretty cool. And then I got the decompression chims. I got 260s and a set of 90s. So there we go. And then I got the turn signal ends that got broken for the bus. I bought new ones for it, and somehow one got chipped. And I got a few new fuel filters there for Chippy. That's his fuel line too. We already installed his seal and his clutch disc and the oil cooler seals. And yeah. So let me get to work. Let me get busy, Lizzie. I gotta mix some paint up. I'll go call Tommy Shoe. It's probably way too early to call Tommy Shoe unless he's already called Andrea's phone. Let me go try to see what's going on there. But I'll do this real quick paint chip thing. Try to find a chip deck that's close, and then we'll do a chip deck on this. And if that doesn't work, then you gotta do the profit. So. But all right, guys, you have a great day. Let me go do this for her, and we'll talk to you in a little while.